Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kelly and I am a physical therapist that specializes in lymphedema, oncology, and women's health. When someone has lymphedema or swelling in the arm or the hand and the fingers, the main treatment option is compression with either compression bandaging or long-term a compression sleeve or compression garment. Well, there are so many different types of brands and compression garments out there right now. It can be really overwhelming for the individual looking for a compression garment or the patient, as well as for the lymphedema therapists. I know that I personally have a hard time keeping up with all the different brands and the type of garments and the styles because they're constantly coming out with new ones. I love that they're constantly trying to improve the garments and the compressions, but yes, it can be really hard to keep up with and know what one is best for you. So I'm going to be going through a series of videos on compression garments for the arm and the hand, for the leg, and for Velcro wraps and also nighttime garments. So if this is something that you're interested in, be sure to subscribe down below and hit the notification bell so you can see when the next video comes out. But in this video that you're watching, I'm going to go through and break down all the different types of compression sleeves and gloves and gauntlets for arm and hand lymphedema and swelling. I'm going to try to break it down the best I can from light compression all the way up to more moderate to intense compression and talking through the different types of styles that are currently on the market as of 2021. So before I begin, I think it's extremely important to note that everyone is different. Everyone has a different shape and a different size. They have different silhouettes. Everyone may also have a different cause to their swelling or type of swelling and also other medical conditions. So therefore, the best treatment option for you is the one that you decide with your therapist or your doctor. I am here to just bring knowledge to what are all the different types of compression garments out there, but hopefully it can help spark a conversation between you and your healthcare team. So how do compression garments and sleeves help? Compression is the main treatment option for swelling and lymphedema because it will assist in moving the fluid out of an area. When you put compression or pressure around a certain area of the body, it will gently squeeze into that area, and that pressure is going to help push the fluid out. Swelling or fluid that sits a long time in an area does put someone at a higher risk for infection or even fibrosis, which is hardening of a tissue. So it is something that you want to get checked out by your healthcare team and get addressed. Along with the compression, other treatment options are manual lymphatic drainage, which I have created in other videos on how to follow along with the manual lymphatic drainage massage sequence, and I will place links for that down below, as well as exercise. In this video, I'm going to share only the medical grade compression sleeves as that is what I focus on in my practice, but there are other options if you want to search online. I'm going to start with the lowest amount of compression and build up to the strongest amount of compression, and I'll do my best to break down the pros and cons of each of them as I go. In general, compression sleeves and garments have a life of about 4 to 6 months after they get too stretched out if you're wearing them daily, and then you'll need to replace them. For some, insurance covers these compression sleeves and garments, but for others and a lot of people, they don't cover them well. All of these products I'm going to be linking down below where you can get them for the cheapest I've found online through brightlifedirect.com. I also have a discount code that you can use, which I will place down below, and you can use that for another 10% off your purchase. But we're going to get started. So I'm going to break this down into light compression, moderate compression, and advanced compression, knowing that there's a little bit of mix in between all three of those, but in general that gives someone an idea of where they fall and what brands or types of sleeves and garments fall into each category. So enough of the pre-stuff, let's get into the compression sleeves. So the first one is going to be the Mediven Comfort. The Mediven Comfort comes in 3 different levels of compression, which is 50 to 20, 20 to 30, and 30 to 40. When you're looking into the lymphedema world as a vendor, you're going to look at class 1, class 2, class 3 garments. It gets really confusing, so reach out to your therapist or your vendor to help with the sizing and the compression levels. But in general, off-the-shelf medical grade compression is a 20 to 30. The Mediven Comfort does have a lot of stretch to it. You can get it with the silicone band, and it's going to be a lot softer and thinner for more comfort and just that light compression. It does have a little bit of a band at the wrist so it doesn't roll up, but again, it has a lot more give than a heavy duty compression, so it won't be as tight around the wrist. The sleeves currently at this time come in 4 different colors, which are a sand, caramel or caramel, depending on how you pronounce it, a black, and this magenta color. For sizing of the Mediven Comfort, it has a large range. So that ranges from size 1 all the way to size 8, and it has 2 different widths, a regular and an extra wide. The next sleeve in this light compression is going to be Juzo's 2000 series. So there is a 2000, 2001, and 2002. How that is broken down is a 2000 is typically a 15 to 20 level compression. 2001 is that basic medical grade compression at 20 to 30, and 2002 is usually going to be a 30 to 40 level compression. So this here I have is a 2001, which is that basic level compression at 20 to 30. So like the Mediven Comfort, this is also a much softer fabric than some of the heavier duty ones. You can get the silicone band at the top, and it has a lot of give to it. It also has a structured wrist support, so it's not going to roll, but again, it's not going to be too tight at the wrist. Like most of the other compressions, it's going to have a little bit more compression at the wrist, and as you get up towards the top, it's going to have a little bit less. That's that gradient pressure we're looking for to get the fluid moving up and out of the arm. The Juzo 2000 series is meant to move when you move, so it's going to move and adapt with you. It's not as rigid, which can fall down a little bit at the top. But again, it's a lighter compression, so it's for those who have a mild amount of swelling or they are looking to help prevent their lymphedema with what we call that early sleeve protocol, which is when someone just had a surgery and might have small early start to some sort of lymphedema or swelling, and we'll put someone in a light garment like this to help shrink that back down after surgery. For sizing for the Juzo, they have 7 different sizes, and they also have 2 widths, either a regular or a max. The thing that I like about the Juzo series is that you have a lot of different colors to choose from. And so when looking at a lot of Juzo's colors, they have a lot more ranges of those nude or neutral colors for skin tones, as well as they have a lot of fun, what they call trend colors that you can get if you're looking for something a little brighter. So overall, I would say this is typically the most common compression garment that someone gets if they're looking just for that basic garment, because it is that softer fabric and they do have a lot more color ranges to choose from. The Juzo Soft series also has a compression glove like most of the others. It can come in full length fingers, which have just a little bit more of a seam at the top to keep it from rolling down. The palm side does have a little bit more of a ribbed fabric compared to the back. That's to help grip and hold onto things so it's not as slippery. And the fingers have a little bit more of a rib-shaped fabric too, so that's not going to give as tight of a compression, because sometimes the fingers can get a little bit uncomfortable if there's too much. And yes, instead of a glove, someone can also get a gauntlet, which cuts across right at the hand. That stops right there where the knuckles are, so you don't have any finger compression. The last compression garment in that light section is going to be the JOBST Bella Light, which I don't have a sample to show you in front of me, but I'll show you on the website. The JOBST Bella Light's also going to give that light amount of compression. This one might be a little bit less at a 15 to 20. However, it is going to have the same idea to give that softer fabric, and one can have a lot more mobility with it for those who have that mild swelling. So the next amount of compression is going to be in this moderate section. So moderate is for those who have lymphedema or that mild to moderate lymphedema who need a little bit more compression than those basic sleeves that I just shared, but they're not going all the way to a flat knit or custom garment, which is that high containment. So these are all going to be circular knit garments, which are more off the shelf version, but they are a little bit stronger than the ones we showed before. First one we're going to talk about is the Mediven Harmony. The Harmony does have a little bit more compression as the other ones, but it still has that really soft fabric. You can get it with the silicone band at the top, as well as it's going to have that wrist support for a little bit more compression, but not going to roll up or cause a tourniquet. There is a gradient amount of compression with this sleeve as well as this sleeve. I don't know if you'll be able to see in the video, does have a little bit of a relief where the elbow crease is. That's going to allow for a little bit more comfort at the elbow, because sometimes that can get harsh and rub, and that is a sensitive area. So that's the positive thing about the Harmony that I like, is that change at the elbow crease. Some people don't want that, and that's okay. That might not be the garment for you then. This sleeve comes in a 20 to 30 or 30 to 40 level compression, and it also has a glove, which I have one here, and as well as a gauntlet where the fingers are open. And so the glove's gonna give that same amount of compression. It's gonna be a little bit more heavy duty than the Medi Comfort is, but it's still a softer and lighter fabric than the flat knit and custom garments. The Harmony sleeve and the Harmony glove come in 3 colors, either the sand, the caramel, or the black. Like the Medi Comfort, the sizing is going to be similar. It's from sizes 1 to size 8, and there's a regular and an extra wide. The Mediven Harmony is a great option for someone who has that mild or early stage lymphedema that is not progressed or too thick or severe. I think the Mediven Harmony is just a great overall compression garment to start someone at. The next compression garment is the JOBST Bella Strong. So like the Bella Light, I also don't have a sample in front of me for the Bella Strong, but it is going to give that next level of compression compared to the Bella Light, but still have that nice flexibility to it, but more containment. The JOBST brand, of course, is a well-known brand and well-trusted brand, and so everyone knows when they do the Bella Strong that they're going to have a good quality product. And I do find that this is a popular option with my patients. The next one in the moderate category is going to be Sigvaris Secure. So like the Mediven Harmony, this is that moderate level compression. The fabric of this is still soft, but you can tell that it's going to give more containment than those low level compressions. It is a bit stronger. This one has a wider band compared to the Mediven or the JOBST. So some people prefer that wider band because they feel that it gives more grip. So this might be a good option for you. It also has a thinner band, I would say, at the wrist compared to the others. And so it's not going to have as much or as wide of a band at the wrist, but it still does give that extra seam for that secure compression there. You can also feel the gradient pressure on this sleeve with a little bit more fabric and a little bit tighter fabric at the wrist and gradually getting less at the top. I would say more than the other garments, this one does have a little bit more of a gradient that you can actually feel just by touching the fabric itself. This is a 20 to 30 compression as well. And the sizing of this compression garment go from a small, medium, large, extra large, and double XL. They also do have the 2 sizes with an average and a full, as they call it, and they do come in short and long as well. Like the others, they also have a glove or gauntlet. I want to pull this one out. So here's the picture on the front. The difference with this glove compared to the others is that it has a different amount of compression throughout. So if you can see the line at the fingers here. So the fingers don't have as much compression because again, the fingers don't always like that extra compression. But starting where the gauntlet would start right at the base where the knuckles are, you can see that the compression does pick up. And then it decreases a little bit when you get to the wrist because when you have the 2, they are going to be double layered. And you don't want double really strong layering there because it can cause a tourniquet. But overall, you are going to give a little bit more compression in the dorsum or the back of the hand, which is where a lot of people hold their swelling, and then it eases off as your garment picks up the rest. This glove, as you can see, is going to be a little bit longer, and so I will go ahead and put this on quick and show you. So depending on where someone prefers their glove or gauntlet to sit, this is not going to cause as much of a tourniquet right at the base of the wrist. It's going to sit a little bit higher. What I see with my patients is the irritation can come from right where the gloves or the gauntlets stop and the sleeve starts. This glove is a little bit longer, and so what you'll see is that it does spread out that compression, and so if anyone's getting tourniquet at the wrist, they may want to look at a glove or a gauntlet that has a longer wrist piece like this one does, or a lot of garments can come in a extender piece. Those are typically more of the custom ones though. So the next one is going to be the Juzo Dynamic series, or also known as the 3500 series. You may also see the Juzo Expert, which is the 3000 series, but anything starts with a 3. It's going to give a little bit more compression than the Juzo Softer 2000 series does, but it still does have that softer fabric to it. You're going to get the same features with the silicone band and the gradient compression throughout with that wrist support. I think what I see the most that's popular about these, again, is that Juzo is just a little bit softer of their fabric, which some like, and the big one is going to be the colors that Juzo typically comes in because they have a lot more nudes and neutrals than the average compression brand. The Juzo Dynamic has the same sizing chart. It goes from size 1 to size 7. They have 2 widths, either a regular or a max, and 2 lengths, either a regular or a long. And so again, a lot of different sizing to choose from that your vendor, your therapist can help measure you for. And next we'll talk about the L&R's Exo Soft Compression. So I just have a sample of a glove, but you can look for a sleeve. The Exo Soft has a higher amount of compression. This is a 20 to 30, but you can just tell that it's going to be a lot more snug than some of the lower level ones, but it is still a circular knit garment. They actually have a flat knit version of this, which I'll talk about next, but this is a circular knit garment that has a little bit more compression for those who have that more mild to moderate lymphedema or swelling, who are not all the way going to the flat knit garments yet. This is a full finger glove, but actually in the picture you can show that it also has short finger compression as well. The sizing on this is not as vast as some of the others. They come in size small, medium, large, and extra large, as well as for the sleeves, they also come in usually size small to extra, extra large. I think the Exo Soft is another good, really moderate level compression, getting a lot stronger, but not going all the way to the flat knit or advanced ones quite yet. And the last section of compression sleeves and compression garments I'm going to go through is more of the advanced or higher level compression. These are all going to be a flat knit garment. So the last 2 sections we went through, those were circular knit. Those were more off the shelf. The flat knit do come in a couple off the shelf option, but it's going to give a different woven fabric, which is going to be meant for more higher containment of the swelling and the volume. So for those who have moderate to significant lymphedema or swelling, this is the best option, or this is the gold standard, I should say. So first off the bat, let's talk about the Mediven Mandi. So this is a flat knit garment. So as you'll see on the back of all of these garments, they do have the seam created because it's not a circular woven all the way around, but this is that higher containment. The 550 is going to be similar. You can get that customized. So like them all, they'll have the band at the top, but when you feel these garments, they are a lot thicker, but they are going to be a lot stronger. The Mandi and the 550 Mediven have a couple different colors to choose from, but overall they are left to more neutral colors besides this nice hot pink one here. They come in a light sand, a little bit darker beige or caramel they call it, and black as well. Flat knit garments are more talked about in those class series, so class 1, class 2, class 3, rather than just 20 to 30, 30 to 40. Although they are used interchangeably, it can get really confusing, and so check with your vendor or your therapist about that. A class 1 series in a flat knit garment is going to be a lot more compression than a class 1 circular knit garment, just because of that containment level and that type of fabric and compression. The Mediven 550 is a really popular one, as well as the Mandi, because it is a little bit less harsh than something like the JOBST L/X will be, but it's still going to give that really good flat knit compression. So for someone who needs more compression than a circular knit, or needs a customized garment just to fit them in a different way, this is a nice in-between or moderate level of that higher level compression, if that makes sense. So Exo Strong is a flat knit garment like the ones in the section, but unlike the others, which are typically customized, this one is an off-the-shelf version, meaning it comes in a size that's already shaped. So pros and cons. Pros, it is going to be a cheaper option for a compression garment that's a flat knit. However, cons is that you have to fit into this garment well or perfectly in order for it to work. So it's not for everyone, but for some it may be that in-between option. This is the glove here of the Exo Strong. So it is a flat knit garment, so it's going to be high containment level, and this does have longer fingers. So we'll pull out the Exo Strong sleeve here. This one has silicone at the top, and this one is a size large. They come in small, medium, large, and extra large for sizing. And they do have short, average, and tall. So they have 3 different lengths, but just a few different options for sizing. So here is the Exo Strong sleeve. This is a large, has the silicone band at the top. As you see, it is a flat knit, the way it's woven with the seam down the back. And the wrist isn't going to be as thick or as seamed as some of the circular knits. When you get a flat knit garment, because the way it's woven, the nice thing is I don't think it will pick up on the screen here. The fabric is sewn out here so you know exactly where the elbow crease will be, so that when you put it on you can make sure that it's lined correctly, because that does make a difference for these flat knit garments. And overall I would say that this is what someone will try if, you know, financially getting a customized garment, which are, you know, very expensive and a lot of times not covered by insurance. They'll try this first, again, if anatomically their arm is the right silhouette or shape. So the next one that I'm going to talk about is the Juzo Strong, but I do not unfortunately have a sample of this right now. It is their flat knit garment that has their highest containment. The Juzo Strong, like the other Juzo products, does have a really wide range in colors to choose from, as well as they are customized so you can get any shape and size. The Juzo Strong is meant for maximal containment, so it's going to be a great option for those who have that moderate to severe swelling or lymphedema. The next one I'm going to share is a new one. So this is a lower leg, but they do have an arm sleeve. This is the JOBST new Confidence that just came out as of early 2021. It is a flat knit custom garment with the seam down the back, and you can get a really gentle or light silicone banding at the top that's almost woven in, but it is another flat knit option that's not all the way to the JOBST 𝐿𝐵𝐺𝐺. What it doesn't show on this one, because this is a lower leg piece, not an arm piece, it does have an elbow relief area. And so for those who get a lot of irritation here, a lot of rubbing, it's gonna have a little bit less compression there to help ease up some of that restriction and avoid a tourniquet. The JOBST Confidence is just another great flat knit garment that's going to give you a high amount of compression, but a great option for those who don't tolerate the JOBST 𝐿𝐵𝐺𝐺. Or another option or reasoning would be for those who have a latex allergy, because the next one we're going to talk about does have latex in it. Some will switch to this one because of that skin or irritation. And finally, the last one I'm going to talk about is the JOBST 𝐿𝐵𝐺𝐺. So again, this is actually a lower leg piece because I don't have a sleeve with me, but it's the same concept. This is the gold standard amount of compression. The JOBST 𝐿𝐵𝐺𝐺 has a soft fabric, but it is going to be that high containment. The JOBST 𝐿𝐵𝐺𝐺 does have the silicone banding at the top. They are customized and made directly for someone. They come in various classes like the other one, class 1, class 2, class 3, and you can layer these as well. So after a surgery, or if someone who just has moderate to severe lymphedema, the JOBST 𝐿𝐵𝐺𝐺 is going to be that high level of containment and compression. This is definitely one of the most well-known compression garments, and is probably the most popular right now of the flat knit garments. The only downside of this JOBST 𝐿𝐵𝐺𝐺 is that it does contain latex, and so for those who have that skin allergy like we talked about, one of the other brands is going to be probably a better option for you. The JOBST 𝐿𝐵𝐺𝐺 also, like Juzo's, has a large range of colors to choose from, as well as a few different options for the banding at the top. The 𝐿𝐵𝐺𝐺 does have compression sleeves as well as gloves and gauntlets too. So those are the main compression sleeves and garments and gloves and gauntlets out on the market right now. There are a couple other options out there, but these are the most popular brands at this time. Now, a compression sleeve or garment is not a great option for everyone due to getting them on and off, or for financial reasons, or for just other medical or lifestyle purposes. Another great option is going to be a Velcro wrap, but there are so many different types of Velcro wraps out there as well, so I'm going to create a completely different video on Velcro wraps for the arm, as well as some for the lower leg too. So if these are something that you're interested in, be sure to subscribe down below and hit the notification bell to see when that video comes out. I also will go through another video on nighttime compression options, so that may be something else for you to look forward to. Any other types of compression that you want me to address besides the daytime sleeves, the nighttime, and the Velcro wraps, be sure to comment that down below and press the like button if you found this video helpful. I'll see you all next week for another video. Thanks everyone.